Welcome back to the Fit Show 2019, where I'm delighted to be joined by Mike from the DGCOS, and it's George Clarke, everybody. So we're here talking about the Double Glazing Conservatories Ombudsman scheme. I know, it's a bit of a mouthful.
I'm really impressed by that, actually. That was very good.
So am I.
You're going to have my job.
Thank you very much indeed. But to break it down for people who haven't heard of the DGCOS before, tell me about that. What's the problem you are trying and hopefully fixing?
So just one of the things we notice with the industry is consumers can often get left disadvantaged, whether that's a difficult exclusion clause in an IBG or just general problems within the industry. And we often find, for example, a large case recently where Safe Glaze went into administration, there was people left with absolutely no protection whatsoever. Joining, being a member of our scheme as an installer just allows you to give your consumer the peace of mind they actually deserve. So if you go into administration or you do see SRID, which unfortunately happens, and people make mistakes, we're all human. It just means they've got an extra layer of protection in place to support them if that's the case, the consumer. And that's kind of generally what we want to do, is just give the consumers and the installer, most importantly, the peace of mind they deserve.
Yeah, I was going to say benefits to consumer in terms of independent arbitration and so on, very strong. In terms of the benefits to the installer as well, how would you express those?
I mean, just when you get a peace of mind pack and something where, you, as an installer, you're giving the product, I'm assuming, a decent price, a payment method, whether that, whether it's finance or cash. One of the things we do is give that, we say it's the peace of mind. So basically, that feeling when the consumer has it in the bottom of the stomach when you're about to sign for £5,000. What we hopefully do is give in that brochure with Georgie's face and Nick's face on it, some brand ambassadors, some written letters to him. What it does is it allows the installer to know the consumer's got the trust in them. So one of the things you can see in that, and the cold hard of it is, it increases their conversion rates. We write them a letter to the consumer with deposit protection, stage payment protection, and insurance-backed guarantee. And then what that shows is a drop-off in your cancellation rates, most importantly. So we've kind of turned what is an insurance-backed guarantee, which just takes money from you all the time as an installer, to something where it's an added value product, and you can actually stop spending money all the time and actually make a bit across the year, because you have to have one anyway. So, yeah.
Trying to take a breath now. That was amazing. Did you just do all that in one breath? Really impressed. Really impressed.
He's been giving me tips. This is I help him, he helps me.
Just relentlessly talk, so you couldn't say anything. Did you say how I did that? It was brilliant.
That's fine. It makes my job easy. George, you are, of course, across this industry with your work day in, day out. Tell me why schemes like this, in your opinion, are so important for the industry, for consumers, for installers.
Yeah, I think trust is one of the biggest things in the industry, really. There's so many clients that I've got where they're saying, well, how can I trust this installer? How can I trust this company? Are they still going to be around in 6 months' time, 12 months' time? You can't do that as a client for every single product and everything that's been built in your house. Sometimes the main contractors need to get involved a little bit as well. But I think it's all about trust and consumer protection. And for me, that's why I've signed for these guys, to be honest with you, because what they're doing is brilliant. And they're giving that trust and that quality that people need to make a decision to spend some money on their house. And hopefully companies don't go bust. Hopefully there aren't problems on site. But I'll say to even my team, there's always going to be a problem at some point. But it's our ability to put it right which will stand us out from the crowd. And if a company who's a glazing installer or a solar panel installer goes bust, obviously that's something that's terrible for them in the industry, and it's such a real shame. But if they've got 2,000 clients who have been left in the lurch and they've already paid their deposit and they don't know what's going to happen with that deposit of that money, this gives them the protection that they need. So for me, this is a no-brainer to support, really.
And Mike, if consumers and indeed installers want to find out more about what you're doing at DGCOS, what is the best place for them to go to?
Shameless plug there, but yeah, just go into dgcos.org.uk. We're also launching a new consumer-facing brand, which will be called SureBuy, which is kind of really targeted at consumers, so a bit more like Checker Trade, kind of search installers, reputable ones, but we know they're backed by DGCOS, HICE and other schemes which we have consumer protection. So just general home improvement. If you pop to SureBuy.co.uk, you'll be able to search for a reputable installer which you can trust and is backed by one of our schemes.
And that's the important thing there, not just double glazing conservatories, all kinds of home improvements will come under that brand.
Yeah, one of the things we've seen is people no longer in the double glazing industry. You walk around here today and it's not just double glazing products anymore, it's everyone really class themselves as home improvements. And that was the step with George as well, because George is very supportive of all of home improvements. So and we protect a lot more products than just doors and windows, really. So come and have a chat.
Yeah. Good stuff. Listen, George, before I let you go, tell me, you've had a walk around the show floor here this morning. You've got a sense of the vibe, a sense of what people are showing off here. Why do you think events like this are important for the industry?
Well, I think it's good for consumers more than anything else. They can come and see all the products that are on display, which is fantastic. I think it's good for the industry because it pushes everybody on. It gets a little bit competitive, doesn't it? When you see something being launched by someone who might be one of your competitors, and you're like, right, I've got to raise our game for next year. And more than anything, I think it's just great brand awareness for the industry. I mean, these are all great companies who are wanting to do fantastic things and put great products in people's houses. So it's win-win for everybody, to be honest.
Win-win for everybody. Well, I'm sure that's pretty much the case with DGCOS as well. Listen, Mike, George, thank you very much indeed for joining us here at the show, and wish you all the very best with DGCOS and with all the rest of the projects you're working on here too. Cheers.
Thank you very much. Thank you.